Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I am here with Vince. Vince, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing, Gates? Good to talk to you.
I'm doing great. We had the opportunity to do this, I guess, about a month ago or so, and just talking about your success and the exciting things that have been happening for you through your relationship with Apex Trader Funding. And we're back again because, of course, you've gotten another payout, but let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and spill the beans here and just get everybody excited. You told me a number here just a few minutes ago, that in the last month you have earned and been paid out by Apex Trader Funding. How much?
Over 800,000 in the last 30 days.
Now that's dollars, right?
That is in dollars.
That is a lot of money. Now, in the last year, you said that you've actually eclipsed that major benchmark.
So since November of 2021, Apex has paid me $1 million.
$1 million. Now, you put a few bucks into some evaluations and resets along the way, right?
Absolutely. I'm probably the king. I've told people I'm probably the king of resets. I've went down those vicious rabbit holes many times, and not proud of it. But in the end, it taught me some lessons I needed to learn.
Now, just to be clear, you haven't paid into it $1 million, have you?
No, I have not.
Of course not. That's
Wouldn't be
awesome.
having this conversation if that had happened.
No, probably not. That is absolutely unbelievable. Well, that's exciting. Congratulations. That is well, I mean, that's a benchmark. That's a milestone. I don't know if I've run into any funded traders anywhere who have been paid that amount in that period of time. That's I mean, I don't have the stats on that, but that's pretty amazing. So what is your secret? What is it that you're doing that everybody else hasn't done yet to get to this benchmark?
Well, it started off, I probably did the traditional methods that a lot of people start doing, where you start studying Fibonacci and trends and support and resistance and simple things that you take trades off of. And I was doing that, and I really got fascinated with footprint charts and order flow and was studying those. I still use market profile quite heavily because I like how it frames the day. And so I had multiple charts up every day when I traded. I would have footprint, market profile, 5-minute charts, 4-hour charts, various other charts. And while I understood what each one was telling me in the heat of the moment when the trade needed to happen, it was difficult to put everything together and enter a trade successfully. And I did that for quite some time. I've been trading futures for about 5 years and was having some hit and miss success. And that's when I discovered the Apex investing side and got the Sniper and Simplicity setup. And Sniper has really proven to be successful for me. What Sniper did for me was it took everything that I was already doing and it's just put it all into one succinct chart. So once you understand the trade setups, you understand the icons and the indicators and what it's telling you, you no longer have to reference all of those individual charts and indicators to trade Sniper. So the Sniper system from Apex Investing was really the game changer for me.
That's awesome. I actually I'll share a story. I was trading online live, and I actually had somebody ask me what all that noise was on my chart, and I wish I'd had the cleverness at the time to tell them it's pure gold.
It is. It's pure gold. If you're running the Sniper chart or the Sniper template with alerts, it's telling you what's happening, and that was important. And I actually had in all transparency, I had the Sniper system for a couple of months, and I didn't really fully engage with it. I didn't go through the videos as I should have. And then over the last 5-6 months, I actually watched the entire video course probably about 6 times. Spent a lot of time going through it and trying to understand what each trade setup was, taking a lot of notes. And then I only focused on 1 or 2 of the trades and started to capitalize on only a couple of the trades, and that started to work. And then minimize my losses each day, hit that 3 trades per day that are winning and stop.
Now,
And those small amounts, you know, a $500 to $1,000 a day really add up.
who taught you the 3 trades a day rule?
That is a John and a Daryl. They both preach that quite heavily in the course.
Seems to be working out. Seems to be
It
working out.
it does work out, because prior to that, I would John, in the sniper course, John talks a lot about when you start to see these trends, and you'd see a bar that would close down, you'd see the next bar that would close down, and then that third bar would close down. The old me would jump in immediately with a sell, going, I'm going to catch this trend.
Right.
And then it would reverse on me.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened all the time. It happened. There's a popular saying in trading that the markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. And I proved that, because there were some bitter days. And when John was talking about that in one of his videos, that really struck home to me, because I'm going, that is my trading style. I'm always the guy that gets in on that third bar trend, and then it reverses. Right. And what Sniper does is Sniper shows you what's behind that move. It's right. telling you, hey, this is something to get in, or it's saying don't get in. It's quite clear what Sniper, the indicators in Sniper, what they're telling you.
That's unbelievable. Now, let me ask you this, because I want to put this into perspective as well for anybody who's watching this. We're talking about a lot of money here, and ultimately people trade because they want to make money. So forgive me if I'm harping too much on this, but prior to your experience in this last basically year, a little over a year, were you making anywhere near this kind of money trading?
Oh, no, not anywhere close. So I was positive in my trading journey. Mm-hmm. And I have discretionary income that I could afford to throw some money at it and learn. And that's kind of my learning style, as I go in quite aggressively. Not to say that should be that way for everyone, but it worked for me. But no, not anywhere close. And so Sniper, again, when I got the Apex investing side, that was the turning point. Prior to that, $5,000, $10,000 months was a good month.
Right.
That was pretty much the norm for me, and Sniper elevated that quite quickly.
Well, and you know what? That's numbers that most people watching this are aspiring to. So it's, I think, motivating to see that progression, because everybody starts off, small, grows, builds, and builds and builds. So structurally speaking, let's talk about your funded accounts and what accounts you use, because I know I'm trying to think of the questions that somebody might ask if they cornered you in an elevator somewhere. So how many accounts were you using, and what size accounts were you using?
So I had 20 300K accounts. And I did the 300K accounts because I always believed I was going to trade max contracts. Mm-hmm. So interesting enough, I never traded max contracts. I never even come close to trading max contracts. In fact, as a rule, I was only 1 to 3 contracts deep, and that was mini ESs. There were a few times where I got into 5, and then I would only allow myself to scale in. So these profits were made trading 1 to 3 mini ES contracts. But that's what really puts it in perspective. But 20 accounts. So if you look at the money that I made over the last several months, that was spread across 20 accounts. Sure, there was a lot of those trades I could have gone in with a lot more contracts, but that was just outside of my risk tolerance. Mm-hmm. I wasn't interested, because when you're looking at having 20 accounts, and if you can make $500 to $1,000 a day, there's some pretty healthy days.
Right. Well, that's definitely, again, that's where everybody's, most people are trying to get to that point in a month, much less in a day. So it didn't take necessarily the max capacity, but you definitely had the max number of accounts. Now, how do you trade 20 different accounts?
So I was using Apex Trade Copier.
Right. Okay.
So, and that works quite well. Now, you certainly want to match your expectations. Your hardware needs to match your expectations. And so if you're going to be doing that many accounts, it's important to have the right computer behind it, because some computers obviously just are not going to handle that. And I learned that the hard way. And so maxed out my potential from a computer side, which made everything work much better. I also probably personally, I wouldn't suggest doing that on NQ. I only would do that on ES.
Right.
NQ can have some fantastic wins and some very bitter losses. And so I learned that the hard way. I exclusively, in the last several months, I exclusively traded ES.
Right. And I know a lot of people like it because of the pace, and you know, the opportunity isn't necessarily any less, but it's a lot easier to click the button when it's not, you know, jumping 30 points in a second. So
right. Yeah.
awesome.
And the other thing is I used to mark it in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Sniper, I set a lot of limit orders on Sniper because
Mm-hmm.
you would start to see what it was doing. And so you'd see the trade set up. And so I would enter a limit order. And that helped a lot too. So when in Sniper, when you limit in, your profit target's already set. And sometimes it would just instantaneously hit.
Right.
And 3 of those trades, there were some days where I had 3 winning trades in a matter of minutes. And I was done for the day.
And
it would be it'd be 9:30 in the morning Central Time, and I was done.
And that would yield you roughly how much in profits?
Usually $1,000 is where I'd be at.
Total or per account?
Per account.
Okay, there we go.
So a lot of days would be 20,000 by 9:30 in the morning.
Wow, that's unreal. Now, is it fair to say that in terms of trading profits, these last specifically few months have been financially life-changing?
Yeah, it has been. It's been financially life-changing, but I think it's also been quite a journey for me personally. You know, it's trading is a very, very tough business. Let's just be real. And you can lose a lot of money. And if you do the due diligence and you really put in the time and you really understand the back end and what's happening, it can be very rewarding. And I think that's the journey for me. Is it's been a very rewarding journey personally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one I would have taken, you know, if I was making, you know, a couple $100 a month. I love what I do. Trading's fascinating to me, and there's always something to be discovered. It's a little bit like golf. You're just never going to be the best at it. There's always something more to learn, right?
Exactly. And I like that comparison because it is one of those, there's as much art as there is science to it, but the art can absolutely be learned. And I mean, there's no absolutes in trading. You're still dealing with human capacity. You're still dealing with another human on the other end of that trade, and that makes them very, very unpredictable. But finding those patterns and finding those norms, it makes it possible to beat those patterns, huh?
And everyone has to deal with the discipline side of it. And so discipline for me was a huge thing. It was a massive thing. And so early on, I was probably the world's best revenge trader. I would get stopped out on a trade and I would instantaneously enter again. And I would do that repeatedly. And that is absolutely the definition of stupidity. You know, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I mean, that's just pure insanity. And what I finally started to do was every winning trade or every losing trade, I physically stepped away from my computer. Win or lose, step away from the computer. Don't care if the market's trending, don't care what's happened, and I would go make me an espresso. And so there were days, you know, early on where I'd have several losses in a row and I drank a lot of espresso. So, and it slowly things started to work. But just to take that break from the charts, because you come back in 5 or 10 minutes, the chart's going to tell you something different.
Exactly. Well, you know what? This has just been so much fun, and it's been cool. I've only caught the tail end of it personally, but just to see your journey and your growth and what you've been able to accomplish. And I know that myself included, there's just thousands upon thousands upon thousands of traders going, I want to corner that guy and I want to ask him everything that I can ask him. And the reality is we can do this for hours and hours and hours. And the thing is you found what works for you. I have to find what works for me, and every other trader has to find what works for them. But if you had to put a common denominator on the tools and the resources that anybody and everybody who's trading futures can use that will help them develop those skills and have the time to develop those skills, where are you putting them?
If I had to do it all over again, knowing what I know now about Apex investing, I would have bought into Apex investing much sooner, simply because, as I previously stated, it encompasses everything I was trying to learn. There's a slippery slope of going out there and buying every indicator
Of course.
for Ninja Trader that you can get your hands on, and that's what I was doing. And there's fantastic indicators out there, but again, what Apex Investing does in the Sniper system is they put everything together in one succinct manner on one chart. And that was the game changer for me. And I think that's where my success really started to compound, is when I started to understand the Sniper system.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, as we wrap this up, as we're, heading, a couple of days already into 2023, your journey as it's been thus far, is there anything that you'd like to say to Daryl and John?
Well, I sincerely thank them for putting together Apex. I've talked to both of them online, and obviously what they've created allowed me to do something I never thought was possible. And I sincerely thank them for what they've put together.
Awesome.
And Apex is a clear leader in this space. There's no doubt about it.
Now,
What they've done recently with some of the changes, some of the rules and the payouts, and everything they've done has absolutely worked seamlessly. And that was the other thing, is from a payout perspective, I was with Apex when Apex was prior to Deal.
mhm.
So I did payouts prior to Deal. I did payouts with Deal, and then ultimately had some larger payouts recently. Everything was seamless. There was never an issue. There was never a question. There was never a time where there were any suspicions whatsoever. I worked together with John, and things went very, very smoothly.
You think there's some skepticism out there about the idea of funded trading?
Oh, for sure there is. But I think that there's also enough proof that it's real. I mean, Apex is obviously, I think even bringing in Deal added, for me, it added some confidence in the whole payout structure, because it's a seamless process. But I think there is some skepticism, and it's a new space in all reality yet.
Mhm.
There's a lot of new companies that are coming to the scene. So I think, there's probably those out there, some players out there that maybe are adding to that skepticism, but I can tell you Apex is not one of those.
Awesome. Awesome. Any last words as we wrap this thing up today?
Well, I hope to continue the trading journey, and I hope that others find the same success within Apex.
I find it hard to believe that you could possibly not continue on the journey after what's happened over the last few months. Congratulations once again. Thank you for taking your time today. We really appreciate it, and we love to see this level of success. And as we move forward, we continue to wish you unlimited success in trading and everything else in life. Thanks, Vince. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Gates.
your time.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.